has intercepted an oil tanker in international waters off the coast of Venezuela, escalating pressure on the Nicolas Maduro government just days after President Donald Trump announced a total and complete blockade of sanctioned Venezuelan oil shipments. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed on Saturday that the U.S. Coast Guard stopped a tanker that had last docked in Venezuela. In a statement, Noem said that the United States would continue to pursue what it called the illicit movement of sanctioned oil used to fund narco-terrorism in the region. White House officials said that the vessel was carrying a sanctioned oil and accused it of being falsely flagged and operating as part of Venezuela's so-called shadow fleet. According to maritime risk from Vanguard, the tanker is believed to be the Panama-flagged vessel Centuries, intercepted east of Barbados in the Caribbean Sea. Legal experts noted that the ship itself is not currently under U.S. sanctions, marking a further escalation in Washington's enforcement actions. Venezuela's government has strongly condemned the interception, calling it an act of international piracy. Caracas accused U.S. forces of hijacking a private vessel and forcibly detaining its crew in international waters, and said it would raise the issue at the United Nations Security Council and other international bodies. The seizure comes amidst a significant U.S. military buildup in the region and follows an early tanker seizure last week. Since then, Venezuelan crude exports have fallen sharply, with several tankers remaining in Venezuelan waters to avoid interception. President Trump earlier this week ordered what he described as a complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering or leaving Venezuela, a move analysts warn could tighten global oil supplies if sustained. China remains the largest buyer of Venezuelan crude, though the broader oil market is currently well supplied. Analysts say a prolonged disruption could eventually pull oil prices higher.
U.S. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem published video on Saturday said to show the U.S. intercepting an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela in international waters. Her post on X came with a statement confirming the move by the Coast Guard days after President Donald Trump announced a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. Noem also said the U.S. will, quote, continue to pursue the illicit movement of sanctioned oil that is used to fund narco-terrorism in the region. Maritime risk management company Vanguard said the vessel was believed to be the Panama-flagged Centuries, which was intercepted east of Barbados in the Caribbean Sea. Reuters was able to confirm the vessel in the footage as Centuries, but not the date and location the video was recorded. A White House spokeswoman said on X the tanker was a falsely flagged vessel used by Venezuela to traffic stolen oil. Centuries was loaded in Venezuela under a false name and carrying crude oil bound for China, internal documents from the oil seller Venezuelan state oil company PDVSA show. It's part of a so-called shadow fleet of tankers that disguise their location, used by buyers of Venezuelan oil to get around U.S. sanctions. PDVSA did not immediately respond to requests for comment. In a statement, Venezuela's government denounced the interception as a serious act of international piracy. It's the second time in recent weeks that the U.S. has gone after a tanker near the South American country. It comes as Trump builds a pressure campaign on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. U.S. strikes on suspected drug vessels in waters near the country have killed at least 100 people, while military forces have ramped up their presence in the region. Trump has said the U.S. will soon start land strikes on Venezuela. Maduro has denied links to crime and says that the U.S. wants to oust him so it can take control of Venezuela's vast oil reserves.